everyone, welcome to Illinois and Garden Zone 5. So glad you're joining me today. So I want to give you some progress reports on the cut flower garden. We worked on that the last week. I also went thrifting and plant shopping, and I want to show you some of the DIYs I did this week. Also my thrift find, we're going to style that up. I'm going to take you along for that. I've been seeing some of the same comments in the comment section on different videos, so I'm going to answer some of those today too and address those. And I want to thank you all that are joining our community and commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, all those things. I really appreciate it. I love hearing from you. And then I see some of you that I haven't seen comment for a while will comment again, and it's just nice seeing you again in the comment section as the channel's growing. I really appreciate your feedback and your ideas, and I'm going to be asking you for some ideas today on the new the cut flower garden with the new fence. The fence is a couple weeks old now. We had a 4-foot privacy fence. We changed it out for a 6-foot privacy fence. So let's get started today. I do put timestamps in the description box for you. So if you want to jump to different places in the video, if you're interested in, there will be time codes. Also, one of the comments I get asked is about the different stuff I have in my garden, different decor items that you see and you really like and you want to buy. If it's something that I purchased new, it is in the description box if it's available with a link. Now, if it's a thrift find, you know how that is, but if it's new, there is 2 different sections. There's a section on just decor cottage items that for a cottage garden that I have come across and think are beautiful. I don't maybe own them, but I've put links to those. And then I also have a section in the more description. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, if you go to the description area and look under the video, it says more ... and you click on that, it'll drop down and open up and show you all that information that I'm referring to. So then I have an area that says products I use in my garden, and like I said, if it's available, there are links there. So that is the first question that I have been seeing. Another question I have been seeing in a couple different videos is, do you do all of this yourself? Or do you hire? Do you have a contractor? Okay, so on the big projects, the privacy fence, the edging in the back garden, the paver edging, those were 2 huge projects that we hired those out. Now, could we have done those? Yes, but did I want to do those? No. Years ago, my husband and I at our other home did do our own fencing. And if you've ever done privacy fencing before and had to post hole dig those holes, you know what I'm talking about. It is intense work, and no, I didn't want to do that. So those bigger projects we do hire out. As far as weekly maintenance, planting, even when I had the contractor last year put all the edging in, I still did all the planting and all the mulching. Now, as far as some of the rock, he had to bring some rock in. Now, we did have him do that as part of the edging, the rock. But most of the things out here I do. If it's a super heavy project or real time consuming, like doing the mulch, my husband last weekend helped me on doing the mulch in the raised cut flower garden. My son did help me when we put the soil in the new beds, the raised beds. He came out one night and helped me open up all those bags of soil and put those in. But overall, I do it. But I spend a lot of time in my garden, guys. I mean, this is my project. So I do work outside of the home. My husband and I both have full-time jobs. So at nighttime when I get home from my job, after dinner, you're going to find me out in my garden. And I'm just going to be, in the Midwest, we call puttering around. I'm just going to be doing stuff. I'm going to be watering stuff. I'm going to be, if I see a flower that needs to be pruned, maybe I'll prune off the deadhead it. That type of thing. So yes, I do keep up my garden myself, but it's not perfect and it'll never be perfect. And that is not my goal to have. I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on myself, and I don't want to put that pressure on you where you look at my garden and think, oh, I could never have something like that. That is not true. It's just how much time do you want to spend? I seen a comment about that where they were wanting to do a garden. And that would be one of my things I would tell you first is, what is your budget and how much time do you want to spend on it? Those are the two main, I mean, there's lots of things that go into planning out a big garden area, but those are two of the things, because I spend a lot of time in my garden and some people don't have the time or don't have the want to do it. So you've got to weigh those things. So yes, I do take care of my garden myself in my backyard. And also keep in mind though, it's a fairly young garden. The arborvitaes have been here the longest, and if you watch my video, if you click on my little picture, it'll take you to my channel page, and I'll have then and now. And I leave that video up there for a reason, because I want to show you the progress of my back garden, but also show you how quickly a garden will grow and fill in. And so there's more in that video if you're looking for more information about how this garden came to be. So I'll reference that. But anyway, most of the garden is only a couple years old. And when you have a new garden, you don't have as much maintenance as a garden as it ages, where you have more weeds and more things to take care of, and all the plants are bigger, so maybe more trimming and deadheading and that type of stuff. Since it's younger, I don't have as much right now. Eventually, yes. But I hope that helps. Some of the other questions that I've seen is, I see a lot of questions about my hair. My hair is natural curly. I do like my hair, but we are in Illinois and it is high humidity. So a lot of times in the summer, it will be up in a ponytail bun type style just because of the humidity. But my hair is natural curly. So it does, like I commented before to one of you, is it has a mind of its own. It does what it wants. But thank you for all you that have been saying that you like my hair. So let's talk about the back raised garden bed and what we did this week. Let's take a look. Guys, this is the beginning. So the plan is I have landscape fabric, and I'm gonna lay landscape fabric down in all the pathways, and then I have about 40 bags of mulch to spread on top of that. So it's early in the morning. It's supposed to be super hot today, so I'm gonna see how much of this I can get done this morning. I've already started with my first roll of landscape fabric down here on next to the garden shed, and then we're just gonna keep on going and see what we end up with. Okay, I've got landscape fabric down on the outside of the raised beds, and I am out of landscape fabric. So I'm gonna have to go to the store and get more fabric, more landscape pens, but that probably will not be today. So what I'm going to do is, I got these outside layers done pretty much. And then over on the other side, I did 2 rows before I ran out of fabric, and in the back, where the quick fire fabs are. So I'm gonna start putting the mulch down in those pathways, and that'll help clear this area because I need to lay landscape fabric down in all this area. So the mulch is dumped, and my husband is spreading some over here. He's helping me, which I appreciate so much. And then over here I have it out, but I haven't started spreading it out. So I think I'm gonna need more. We thought we figured enough. Actually, my husband thought he got enough to do all of this, but once I started getting into it, there were areas that were already mulched, that really I needed to remulch. And because I had over here that little 4-foot fence in between the garden shed and the old fence, I had a bunch of stuff planted there. So all of that had to be taken out to make a new pathway here. I want a pathway coming through so I can get to the raised cut garden. And also, like I mentioned, I'll put my hoses and, you know, different garden stuff back here, tucked away but easy to access. So I needed to use a lot of mulch back here to redo these pathways. And now you're not going to believe this, guys. It took a lot more mulch than what we thought. And I'm going to take this off the tripod, the camera, and I'll walk you around so you can see more in detail. But originally we had got 40 bags of mulch and landscape fabric. Within a short time, within an hour, I knew I was going to need more fabric and we were going to need more mulch. So to do the pathways and also do behind the garden house, and I'll show you back there, we used almost 80 bags of mulch. And I think I picked one of the hottest days of the year last weekend to do this, but I did do it all on one day. But I took breaks throughout the day, and then when it got to the hottest part of the day, I just walked away and I had to run errands, and then I came back out that night when it was cooler and worked a few more hours until almost dark just so I could get this project done. Now we have about, it looks like 6 bags of mulch left, which is great because I have some spots in the back I want to do. Also, I wanted this to settle down and see if I need to add more in different areas. I'm really liking this salvia. This is from seed and I got it at Johnny's, and it's just a real pretty flower. Look at that. And it looks really pretty in cut flower arrangements. I really like it in cut flower arrangements. And you can see it's a working garden. I wanted this area here so I could put my hose link there. And no, it's not mounted yet. We haven't got that far. And also my little scooter seat there, I have leaned up so it doesn't get, the seat doesn't get all wet. But the quick fire fabs are looking gorgeous. And this is the area where I said I added all new mulch because this was plants. There used to be a 4-foot privacy fence in between the garden house and that black obelisk that had all kinds of plants there. So everything had to come out because I wanted to make it into a walkway. And making it into a walkway, then I needed to remulch everything. But the quick fire fabs, if you're looking for a gorgeous hydrangea, you guys, this is a panicle from Proven Winners. It gets 6 to 8 foot tall, and look at those blooms, and they're already starting to get that little pinkish color on them. Just loaded. Now this is their second season. And then as we come around this way, which we haven't came this way before, this is a new way to come. Oh, first, let's backtrack. Okay, I'm trying to angle it because if I go head on, we're going to go right into the sun. But do you see the center? So I wanted this to be kind of like a parterre garden, a French parterre garden with the 4 different raised beds there. And then I want something in the center, you guys, and I do not know what to put. So if you have an idea, I need you to comment below. I need some ideas. I don't really want a fountain because I already have a fountain in the back garden. But statuary I've thought of, a bistro type, you know, a little 2-seat table bistro, a bench. But I think it needs to be a focal point, more of a focal point. A planter. I did try my urn that's on the pedestal out here, and because it's more ornate, it works in the back garden, but it doesn't work out here with it being the wooden raised garden beds give it more of a rustic, I think, look. So I'm just really struggling with what to put out here, but I want to put something in the center. I want something as my focal point. So if you can think of something or you immediately look at this and go, I know what would work great out there, comment below and let me know. I would be interested to hear what your ideas are. Okay, so let's take a quick walk around the back garden and I'll show you this what's in bloom right now. There is another quick fire fab looking really, really pretty. Bolero, the white rose in the back, it's in full bloom right now. Sweet peas, you guys. I have never been able to grow sweet peas and I tried them from seed over winter this year and I actually have some sweet peas, which I'm thrilled about. And I can smell them from here. They smell so good. If you need a beautiful phlox, you need one of these. This is Proven Winners Illuminary series, and they have it in different colors, but I went with the white, and I bought this last year, and it was in a little quart pot, and look how huge it is. And it is just flower power, fragrant, beautiful. Look at these flowers. So I have not seen them at the garden center yet, but I'm thinking I bought it later in the season. So I'm keeping my eye out because I'm getting some more of these. I just think it's really pretty. And the roses are taking a break right now. They're starting to come back for another bloom. But I have lots of buds, but we're in between the first bloom and the second bloom. And then the urns and the wicker basket, the DIY wicker basket is looking good. I did cut down the clematis that was on the other trellis and we hung that trellis this last week. And so it was all tangled, so I started it. Really liking the mirror on the fence. I did see some comments about the mirror and I will tell you this is my first try using a mirror outside on a fence. We get a lot of rain here. I probably wouldn't leave it out in the wintertime in the snow, but when you're looking for a mirror if you're going to use one to hang outside, I would say go with something plastic if you can. This mirror is plastic. Now the back of it is a cardboard back and that's where the hangers were. If I had hung that from them, I'm afraid that the cardboard with all the rain and humidity and stuff is eventually going to give way. And when it gives way with that weight of having those hangers, the whole mirror would come crashing down. So I opted, at the top you can see there's the little cutout on the mirror. I put two screws in the fence and hung it from that instead. And like I said, it is plastic. So if you're going to do a mirror, I would say look for something plastic or resin or wood versus a lot of the ones that I had seen when I was out looking at the stores are particle board. And I think particle board would just, if you get a lot of rain, wouldn't hold up. And then also look to see if you can hang it from, the plastic part of it and not the actual cardboard. Quick fire, the little quick fire is doing really good. That's a panicle hydrangea also. And if you are looking for panicle hydrangeas and are wondering about the different sizes, shapes, colors, I did a whole video on the Proven Winners, different panicle hydrangeas, and I can link that below. It was just a real good, because I was looking. And so it was research I did, and I thought, well, if I need it, you may need it too. So depending on the size and colors, that might help you pick what you want. Now this is a bobo hydrangea, and look at that bloom. And I did move some of the Supertunia planters out away from, they needed more space. And the fountain is looking really nice. My husband worked on the fountain for me. We were having some issues with debris plugging the filter, so he got that all cleaned out for me. The boxwood are doing really good. Now they are different sizes because I do in zone 5, I've lost some and had to replant some with our winters. But this year I've been fertilizing them, and so I think that's really helped. But I want to show you my newest plants that I just bought. I went back to the plant shop that I took you to in Galesburg last week with my sister and mom, and they were having a big sale. And so I got some hydrangeas and some other stuff. So this is Pinky Winky. So there's a Pinky Winky bloom. Pinky Winky will get 6 to 8 foot tall, and it is a panicle, Proven Winners panicle. I also picked up Proven Winners, and now this is a big leaf one, and it's not a panicle, but can you see those blooms? I'm sorry about the sun shining, but look at that. That is Paris. So I wanted to give that a try. So there's a new bloom there, and there's older bloom. I just think that's gorgeous. I think that's going to be, that would just be gorgeous to cut it and leave it setting out like that. Can you see a pretty silver, some kind of footed, so I have a pretty little silver footed bowl and putting a bunch of these in it for fall. Oh, that would just look gorgeous. And I had put in the community post, and if you're not part of our group, you're gonna wanna subscribe just to be part of the community post, because I post pictures throughout the week in the community post and give you updates. But the Proven Winners, Supertunias and Superbenia in the pots and in the window boxes is just, they're doing fabulous. They just look absolutely gorgeous. So in this little garden, the lavender, the lime lights in the back are blooming. The pink rose is starting to put on blooms again. And then we've got some more hydrangeas here, lime lights that'll bloom. I did tuck in one of those sweet peas that I grew from seed over winter into this big planter, and it hasn't started blooming yet, but it's out, it's growing, it's looking good. So as we spin around here, I am still liking my little seating arrangement over here. This is really nice to set in when we're outside. This was the other hydrangea that I got. Let me get out of the... This is Firelight Tidbit, which I already have one of these out in the garden, but I wanted to do another one. This is a panicle also, but it is a small panicle. This gets only to about, if I recall, 2 to 3 foot. I did put this in the must-have hydrangea video and talked about it and had pictures of it, but it is also really pretty. And the reason I haven't in the pot now is I just got this the other day, so I haven't even had a chance to plant it yet. Now this week what I did was I had a couple of DIYs that I've been working on. I'll show you those. You can see the gap behind the arborvitaes where they've not grown in yet, and I have this pretty trellis. And I'm just thinking it needs something on the wood fence now. So I went through my stash and I found these old mirrors that I've had that I purchased a long time ago that have just been in storage. And there's two different sizes. I've got 2 this size and 1 this size. And I'm not sure if I want to leave them black or if I want to spray paint them a different color. Now they are just a molded plastic. So let's try hanging these, and I just have a regular nail and hammer I'm gonna hang them with. Step back, take a look, maybe leave them even for a day, see if I like them, and if I don't like them this color, we'll either add some gold rub and buff to them, and sometimes I can tell right away just by looking at it going, nope, don't like it, let's change it out. So let's try it out and see what we think. Okay guys, I did not like the black paint on the little mirrors for the fence, so I opted to try cream. So I had picked up Rust-Oleum chalk paint in chiffon cream, and this is the same color or the same brand for the Tate green chalk paint that I've used on other projects. So I really like this chalk paint that they have in a spray can. It comes out really nice and does a good job. So the mirrors, although they were plastic, they had lots of detail on them, and I think the cream color really makes the detail pop more. So we are going to go ahead and try these out on the fence and see if I like them better this color. So I think the little mirrors turned out really well. And you can find those mirrors, guys, if you don't already own some like that. I see them all the time out thrifting. So you can pick up, you know, those small mirrors for $1 or $2 a lot of times when you're out thrifting, if you're thinking about doing something like this outside in your garden. Okay, so I did say something about doing, you know, styling up our thrift find. So let's do that now. Guys, I'm at Goodwill and I think this would make a pretty flower container for $5.99. It's tarnished, but I think that even adds more charm to it for out in the garden. So I start out with my greenery with this gorgeous silver water pitcher is what I would have thought that it was. So that's one of the things when you're out thrifting, look for items that maybe aren't really garden items, but work really well as garden items. So I just picked this whole branch of these roses that are very pretty. I think it was sensuous is what they were called from My Bouquet. And we're going to just leave those all on the stem because they're so clustered together. And when I was looking at the hydrangeas to cut, I started to look up above, closer to the height of, you know, higher up on the plant. But then the more I thought about it, I thought, you know what I should cut is the stuff that's down low, that's more touching the ground, because I don't really want it to be that low anyway, dragging on the ground. So that's probably when I go back and cut more hydrangeas for cut flower arrangements. That's what I'll be looking at, is cutting those ones that are dragging down low. Now you can see my snapdragon stem is not straight. So that's going to give us a different curve there. And I'm kind of just tucking it on the base of the lip of the rim. But these just make such, these salvias are just so pretty. I think I'll grow these again, you guys. If they continue at the rate they're doing, I just really like them. And it was just one seed packet and it gave me that many flowers. And I did spread them out and put them in other areas of the cut flower garden too, but they didn't do as well as where that patch, which is like 2 plants, where that great big patch is. And you can see when I'm making this arrangement, I'm just going around the base of the rim. And since I just cut these, if they need to be cut to work better in the arrangement, I'll cut them, but otherwise I wouldn't really need to cut the stems to refresh them. I wouldn't need to do that. And this was a great big stalk, but as you can see, same thing, it's leaning that way because it was leaning towards the sun. And it does have some brown on it where it's done. And so when you get flowers like that on your snaps or your stalk, just peel those off. But I'm really happy with the stock this year too, because stock is not something that grows very well in Illinois. It likes cooler temperatures, but it's doing pretty good. And then I have this gorgeous lavender, and on my lavender, it's a perennial, and what I did was I cut it all the way back, and that's not what they say you should do, but that's what I do because I don't want that woody stem, and it's flowering beautifully. It did not kill it. Now, you know, you always risk that it possibly could, but I would prefer it to be extremely low and put out new growth every year, and it sure did. It looks beautiful. So there we have it, guys. I don't know how it looks from the front since I'm on the back side, but we've got our hydrangeas, our roses, salvia, and like you've seen, I did cut some stuff from the back garden too to fill in, but I'm liking it. Now let me look from this side and see how it looks. Oh, I think it needs, that's the bad thing about doing it from the back. There, just a little bit of twist. We just need to move those. Gorgeous, absolutely love it. Well guys, I hope you liked hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the back garden. Please comment below. I'm looking for ideas for a focal point for the new cut flower garden. You got an idea? Let me know. I want to hear about it. Thanks again for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you're looking for more garden inspiration, check out these videos next. Bye guys.